A new trade rumor slash trade idea from Bleacher Report has officially surfaced, and we're going to talk about it, break it all down right after this. Welcome in, everybody, to another episode of Chicago Cubs Central, your number one spot for all things Chicago Cubs. Hey, listen, I need you to do me a favor. If you have not already, if this is your first time, or if you are a repeat person that comes back and views but has not subscribed to the Chicago Cubs Central, I need you to do me a favor. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Also, tap that notification bell so that you make sure you never miss when content drops. Likewise, also need you guys to make sure that you comment below and like the episode too. I appreciate each and every last one of you for doing that. Guys, listen, we are giving away a free Cubs jersey when we reach 3,000 subscribers, guys. Like I said, we are on the way towards 3,000. Right now, last I checked, I think we were at 2,579. So we're really, really close. Hopefully by the end of this episode, we'll be around into the 600s. But listen, I need you to do me a favor and go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you are viewing this video. That automatically enters you in for an opportunity to win that Chicago Cubs jersey. Another thing you can do is you can also join our Chicago Cubs Central Facebook group. Shout out to everybody that's already in the Chicago Cubs Central Facebook group. There are a lot more people than just two. I want to tell you already. But like I said, make sure that you are one of the ones you don't miss out. Go ahead and find Chicago Cubs Central right there on Facebook. Join the Facebook group. Not only do you get access to episodes, interviews, things like that earlier than they post onto YouTube or Spotify, but you also get opportunity to meet other Cub fans. We're going to do some meet and greets, or not meet and greets, but like some meetups, some watch alongs, things like that. All that stuff. You don't want to miss it. Join the group. You don't want to be being a part of that. Appreciate you guys so much for that. Now, let's get down to business. So, Bleacher Report's Zachary D. Reimer recently detailed a package that would bring none other than Tarik Skubal to the Chicago Cubs. So could the Cubs trade for Tarik Skubal? So the proposed trade is the Chicago Cubs would get left-handed pitcher Tarik Skubal, and then the Detroit Tigers get infielder Matt Shaw, right-hand pitcher Jaxson Wiggins, who is number 58 on the MLB top list right now, and then outfielder Ethan Conrad. So, like the Orioles, the Cubs have already been one of the offseason's big winners, but right now they feel more like a team built to win the NL Central than one ready to knock off the Dodgers, Reimer wrote. So a trade for Skubal would change that conversation. He'd immediately become the number one in a rotation that doesn't have a clear pick for the role as of right now. And after Cubs starters fanned only 7.5 batters per 9 innings in 2025, it would be nice to have a strikeout god like Skubal as a game one starter in October. So that's what we're going to be detailing today. Is this something that could potentially actually happen for the Chicago Cubs? So the first thought question is, why would the Cubs want Tarik Skubal? Well, first, let's talk about the guy Chicago will be getting. So Skubal has quietly become one of the most dominant pitchers in baseball. In 2025, he posted 30 starts, a 2.75 ERA, 216 strikeouts, a 105 whip, and 190 plus innings pitched. He's a true ace lefty with the ability to shut down lineups multiple times a season. What does Skubal bring to the Cubs? He's an anchor for the rotation. Chicago's starting staff has struggled to find a dominant top-end pitcher. Skubal changes that overnight. And then on top of that, he has strikeout power. With a high strikeout rate, Skubal is exactly the type of pitcher you want in a playoff rotation. He has experience and durability. He's been consistently durable and makes his team better with every single start that he has. Simply put, if the Cubs are serious about contending, adding a frontline arm like Tarik Skubal gives them a true number one starter right away. Now, again, a lot of you are going to say, well, I don't know if I want another lefty to be a starter for the Chicago Cubs. And listen, you wouldn't be wrong in saying that having too many lefties is a bad thing. But the Chicago Cubs absolutely could trade off one of those other lefties if you have somebody like a Tarik Skubal, or you move one of them to the bullpen and make Tarik Skubal your starter. But he's the top of the line. He's the top of the food chain. It's him and Paul Skeens. If you have an opportunity to trade for him, you absolutely do that deal. You do not think about the fact that he's a lefty. You do not think about the fact that you already have other lefties. I know, like I said, that it's going to be something that's going to be costly trading what we're getting ready to talk about, what you're going to give up. But at the same time, think about what you're getting. You are getting somebody that can literally carry you through a postseason, not just somebody that can carry you through the regular season, somebody that can carry you through a postseason, somebody that can give you 7 innings of lockdown, shutdown baseball, not allowing a single solitary run, especially with the defense that you have behind him. But of course, in anything like this, you got to give something up. So this is where the debate gets interesting. Let's break down the 3 players Chicago would be sending to Detroit. Obviously, Matt Shaw, his 2025 season and what he brings. So he was a 270 batting average, 15 home runs, 62 RBIs, excellent defense across multiple infield spots, a Gold Glove caliber presence, and he has nowhere near hit his peak yet. Defensive versatility. He can play multiple infield positions at a high level. He brings you contact and speed. He gets on base and makes things happen that way. He has youth and he has control. So he's cheap, controllable, and still improving. To Detroit, Shaw becomes a building block infielder with everyday value. You can put him at third. You can put him at second. Like I said, you can even put him at shortstop probably, and he'd be able to play that position also. So like I said, you look at somebody like Matt Shaw and you just say to yourself what he brings to the table. He brings a lot to the table defensively for this club. Now, you then also have to give up more than that. You have to give up Jaxson Wiggins, one of the Chicago's top pitching prospects. So in 2025, Wiggins dominated the double A and high level A's, triple digit heat on his fastball. He has a high strikeout rate, a repertoire with plus strikeout stuff. And he brings to you a high upside future rotation piece. So you know if you're giving up someone like a Tarik Skubal, you're going to want something in return that could absolutely bring you value in the future. This piece for Detroit it signals to the team like, hey, we were good and we have an ace, but we feel like we will not be able to retain his services or keep him, and we want to get off of that contract before he just walks for free. So you would then acquire 2 huge pieces in Jaxson Wiggins that in a year or so will be ready to join your major league team and pitch for your major league team. You bring somebody like Matt Shaw and you give that to them also, and he is a piece that is game day ready, still opening day ready to be able to play for the Detroit Tigers. And then, of course, there's Ethan Conrad. So he's an outfield prospect. Conrad's 2025 offensive profile looked like this: strong contact skills, gap-to-gap doubles, above average bat speed, developing power numbers. He has athleticism and a strong future bat. He's a versatile outfielder and a teenager with a future everyday player potential. So that piece would be another piece for a stepping block for the Detroit Tigers. So to me, it's a no-brainer if Detroit was willing to do this deal or make this deal happen, then obviously, like I said, if you're the Chicago Cubs, you have to take this deal. You need someone to shut down the Dodgers, and the Chicago Cubs become numero uno one in a series to shut down the Dodgers. This is a move for the Chicago Cubs that obviously they will win the trade. It's a win-win for each club, but definitely a win for the Cubs. What do the Cubs win? The Cubs land Tarik Skubal. They instantly add a legit number 1 starter, an anchor, a playoff contending rotation, increase strikeout potential and innings reliability, and send a message that they are competing now. This is a win now move designed to tilt the roster toward October baseball. This is not one of those moves that you make, where, like I said, you're just hoping for something to happen. This is, we're going to make it happen. So then you look at the Detroit Tigers. The Detroit Tigers will receive Matt Shaw, Jaxson Wiggins, Ethan Conrad. What does this say for the Tigers? Well, an infusion of controllable talent, long-term building blocks, young players that fit a sustainable rebuild, and depth in both position players and future starters. Detroit would love this haul. They would be getting so much back for this. So at the end of the day, this trade boils down to the Chicago Cubs and the Detroit Tigers timeline. So Chicago gets a proven ace today. Detroit gets 3 potential stars for tomorrow. If the Cubs are honest about contending and they have the payroll flexibility, this is the type of trade teams make when they're serious about the postseason. So, but it isn't free. Chicago will be paying with future upside. So the real question for the fans is, are you willing to give up future stars for championship potential now? I'm going to tell you my answer. Here's my answer. The only way I do this deal is if Tarik Skubal immediately agrees to sign a contract to stay with the Chicago Cubs. That's the only way that I'm doing this type of deal, because that's the only way this type of deal makes sense. I cannot give up Matt Shaw and Jaxson Wiggins on Tarik Skubal. You've already done that with Cam Smith last year with Kyle Tucker. The only way I'm doing this deal is if Tarik Skubal says, oh, okay, if you make this trade, I'll re-sign with the Cubs immediately. They do that, then you got a deal. But if that doesn't happen, then, hey, I don't know what to tell you. But again, I want to know what you guys think below. I need you to comment below your thoughts. Would you do this trade or not? Like I said, this is another big one. I want you guys to comment below. Give me your thoughts. Do you think we ought to do it? Do you think it's giving up too much? And again, make sure that you guys join the Chicago Cubs Central Facebook group. Appreciate you guys for that. Again, if this is your first time watching, you do not want to miss this, especially when the season starts and we're doing watch-alongs. We're also doing, daily episode updates after each game and all different things like that. So you want to make sure that you are a part of what we're doing over here at Chicago Cubs Central. Simply hit that subscribe button. If you have already subscribed, thank you, thank you, thank you. Listen, my name is Mike Jones, and until next time, go Cubs, go. Peace.
Thank you for watching another episode of Chicago Cubs Central, the #1 spot for all Chicago Cubs content. Remember to like, share, subscribe for more Cubs content.